There's nowhere in London quite like Shoreditch, a mix of street art, style and chaos, where old warehouses became studios and every wall has something to say. Once forgotten, now famous. This is London's creative underground. London has a habit of reinventing itself, and nowhere shows that better than Shoreditch. Once an industrial sprawl of workshops and warehouses, it's now the creative core of East London. A place where graffiti meets galleries, where street food meets fashion, and where every wall tells a story. This is Shoreditch. Every Sunday morning, Columbia Road transforms into one of London's most colourful streets. The flower market has been running here since the 1860s and is still one of the best places to see in East London. This narrow Victorian street bursts into colour. By mid-morning, the crowds are shoulder to shoulder, traders shouting prices, bartering with locals and balancing armfuls of flowers through the noise. The scent of coffee mixes with buckets of eucalyptus and roses, while buskers squeeze between stools, fighting to be heard over the chaos. Many of the sellers have been here for decades, some families trading in the same spot for generations. It's loud, cramped, and completely unfiltered. Right beside the station, Box Park feels like the heart of Shoreditch, a pop-up village built entirely from shipping containers, packed with street food, indie fashion, and the city's creative pulse. Box Park opened in 2011 as the world's first pop-up mall, turning recycled containers into a hub for food, fashion, and live music. Steak and cheese sandwich, yum yum. It's loud, busy, and full of energy. Part shopping space, part social club. From rooftop bars to streetwear pop-ups, it captures Shoreditch's heartbeat in one place. Just a short walk from Box Park is Shoreditch Market, a cluster of open-air stalls converted into warehouses that's become one of East London's busiest weekend spots. On weekends, the heart of Shoreditch turns into a long, open-air market. Part vintage fair, part street food court. Every corner seems to spill out with something different. Old cameras, second-hand clothes, vinyl, handmade jewellery, and the smell of food in every direction. It's a mix of stallholders and pop-ups, from locals who've been trading here for years, to new independents testing their luck. It's chaotic, but strangely balanced. Brick Lane is more than just a road. It's a story that never ends. Every corner smells like spice, every wall is covered in art, and every step feels alive. Brick Lane began as a Huguenot weaving district in the 1600s, then became home to Jewish immigrants in the 19th century, and later, the heart of London's Bangladeshi community. Today, it's a sensory overload, curry houses, thrift shops, pop-up galleries, and the scent of street food drifting through the air. It's chaotic, creative, and constantly changing. Exactly what Shoreditch is all about. Just a few steps from Brick Lane, Redchurch Street shows Shoreditch's polished side, creative, fashionable, and impossible to ignore. A few decades ago, this was all warehouses and workshops. Now, it's lined with designer boutiques, cafés, and some of London's most photographed murals. The walls still carry graffiti, but the vibe's different. It's the new face of Shoreditch, where grit meets luxury. Walk anywhere around here and the streets themselves become the art. Every wall tells a story, political, personal, or just beautiful. Shoreditch has been a canvas for decades. Banksy once painted here, and since then, artists from across the world have filled these back streets. Whitby Street, Chant Street, Eber Street, all layered with colour and messages that change every week. Unlike most cities, this isn't vandalism, it's conversation, and it never stops. Just beyond the markets and murals, Arnold Circus sits quietly at the centre of Shoreditch's history. Built on top of rubble from Victorian slums, it became the site of Britain's first social housing project. Built in 1890 as part of the Boundary Estate, this was Britain's first social housing project, replacing one of London's worst slums. At its centre stands the bandstand, surrounded by curved Victorian buildings that still house local families today. It's a peaceful ending to a place built on noise and change, a reminder of where Shoreditch came from and how much it's evolved. In Shoreditch, everything feels temporary. The art, the pop-ups, the people, but that's what makes it alive. It's not about what's permanent, It's about what's possible.
Shoreditch isn't about monuments or museums. It's about energy, the kind that fills the streets with music, art, and constant motion. A mix of cultures, ideas, and rebellion that turned forgotten streets into one of London's most creative corners. If you made it to the end of this video, don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be seeing you again very soon.